Hello everyone, I'm Darcblade, and this is another in a series of videos I'm putting together called My Final Thoughts. Basically, it's a series of videos about demos, betas, games, and my final thoughts when the period for these demos and games comes to an end. Now what we have here is the recent Battlefield 3 beta, which was released a few weeks ago now, but recently came to an end. I think it was on Sunday it ended. Anyway, this is just some gameplay footage of, well, my last game on the beta, and I thought I'd stick it up and record some of my thoughts on it. Now, one of the first things you'll notice if you haven't played any of the Battlefield games, and that I noticed as well, is it's a lot slower paced than some of the other multiplayer games out there on the market today. Don't get me wrong, it can be fast paced in that, and I'm sure with maps like Operation Metro and that, they are trying to encourage a bit more of a fast paced and gameplay and match. But you gotta love the pistol in this game. It must be one of my favourite weapons. Anyway, the pace of the game. In general, a lot slower than some of the other games out there on the market today. I mean, well, you can tell by the length of the games as well. Very long, sometimes very drawn out and that. Mind you, this is Rush. Rush mode. Basically, Battlefield Bad Company's version of Gold Rush. I guess rushing for gold doesn't really fit in with the whole Battlefield 3 storyline. The other game mode they'll be releasing is a conquest type game, and out of the two of them, for me, I think Rush will be the faster paced game mode. For those of you who don't know, Rush mode is basically there is a team of defenders and a team of attackers. The attackers have to take 2 points on the current section of the map. Once they have taken these points, destroyed them, they are able to advance to the next part of the map. Now they have 100 lives to do this, and the defenders have to try to deplete the 100 lives. But the attackers' lives are replenished if they manage to take the 2 points. And Rush mode is the mode we pretty much got for the beta. Unfortunately, we only got one map. Operation Metro, which is a, well, starts off in a wide open field, perfect for snipers, like I'm doing here, but then it goes into a more cramped environment where CQC and short-range fights are the norm. It's a bit sucky for console users like myself, because the PC users managed to, well, DICE gave them a second map, the Caspian Border, I think it was called, if I remember rightly. Yeah, Caspian Border. Which was a conquest type mode, a lot bigger and a lot more vehicles. I mean, Operation Metro had no vehicles on, which was a shame, because it would have been nice to just, well, try out a vehicle. Anyway, moving along, shall we? Basically, what can I say? This is a really good looking game. Even if it's not PC quality at its best. I know DICE disabled the ultra settings for the beta and that on the PC at least, this is going to look a lot better. I hope that they touch up the console versions to, well, simulate this, but who knows. I mean, if someone can fill me in and in the comments and that and let me know, it'll be appreciated, because at the moment I'm very torn to know which games to get for this quarter of the year. I mean, there are so many good ones coming out. It's it's going to cost a lot of money. I mean, there are some definites I'm definitely going to get. I mean, at the top of that list is Uncharted 3. I mean, I've already got that pre-order ready to come and everything, special edition, so on and so forth. But Battlefield, when it first started being shown at E3 and that, I wasn't sure if it'd be something I was going to get. I mean, I've been playing Call of Duty for the past, how many years, I don't know, since Call of Duty 4. And although I dabbled into Battlefield, with starting with Bad Company, it didn't thrill me as much, shall we say. I hate to say. I'm going to get some feedback for that. But Battlefield 3, it has really opened my eyes. At least the beta has anyway. And well, what they say, and they're going to improve on this, then Battlefield 3 is going to be a must-have. I'm sure for a lot of people. I'm sure a lot of people have already pre-ordered it and that. But yeah, back to the gameplay. Now what you see here is the attackers have actually taken their objectives in the park, and we are having to fall back to the subway station to defend the next two. Basically, when an attacker plants a bomb on the consoles, the defenders have a chance to defuse them. But no one did that, me included. Mind you, I was being a bit slacky and, well, supposed to be providing cover support. Anyway, moving on to the weapons in this game. I can't fault them, really. In Call of Duty and that, there's always some guns that feel a little bit overpowered, or maybe a little bit underpowered. But all the guns in this game feel great, to be honest. I mean, some of the guns I've heard people talk about can be described as overpowered, like the SVD, for example, the sniper rifle, which isn't bolt action. They're saying that needs to be nerfed and stuff, but to be honest, I am enjoying a lot of these guns and that. They have also simplified the classes a little bit in this game. Well, basically, they're merging old existing classes into two. For example, the Assault and Medic is now one class. Actually, my favourite class, because I love being able to heal people and still be able to put up a fight. I mean, their reasoning behind it was probably along the lines of, we don't want our medics sitting at the back, because that's what a medic would do, because a medic couldn't, hold its own in a firefight. But now the Assault and Medic is one, it can, well, provide both roles at once. I'm starting to die too much. Anyway, DICE are renowned for their Frostbite engine. Basically being able to destroy or blow up pretty much almost anything on the battlefield. But in this map, for some reason, there doesn't seem to be that much destructible environment. I'm hoping that it's just for this map, and that the other maps, especially like the Caspian Border and that the destructible cover is, well, increased greatly. Because in Battlefield, I used to love just, if someone was hiding in a building, just blow open the wall to get them. Don't have to worry about running around a corner or them hiding in a corner, blow open that wall so the corner's exposed. So I am hoping that they still add this in other maps. Now with Operation Metro, like I said before, it's a very fast-paced, close-quarter combat kind of map, especially in the later half of the map. Now, why DICE made this map is, well, it's kind of a bit transparent that they're trying to pull in some of the Call of Duty fans. People who are maybe disillusioned with Call of Duty and wanting to change. So they're trying to appeal to them a bit more. I think it might work, but I also think it might split the Battlefield community between those who want the large open maps with vehicles, large open spaces, the works, and those who want the close quarter combat. Right now, we've unsuccessfully defended the objective twice now, and we've been pushed back to the train station, which brings me to another point of Battlefield, and in the beta, which is defenders camping, as unfortunately I'm doing here. You could call it camping, or you could call it smart defending. I mean, the attackers, if they were smart, would work out where I am and throw some explosives my way to push me out of that spot. But they don't. Now, this isn't Call of Duty where everyone's running around like headless chickens. Don't get me wrong, that is fun, and I get a great kick out of doing that, because I can feel like an amazing lone wolf kind of thing. But in this, it seems very team-based and tactical, shall we say. Now, when you're defending, you're not going to go running round and running into your attacker's path. You are going to wait for them to come to you, because, well, you're defending. If they don't come to you, well, you win the game. But I see a lot of people running off into the open and just getting blown away. Now, on the flip side of that, as the attackers, you need to do this sort of thing. You need to get in there and try to get to your objective. But there's a lot more things you can do tactically to do this other than running out in the open. Grenades, rockets, anything to cover and provide support for your advanced objectives are welcome and should be used. But you don't see this sometimes. Sometimes you see medics running out there in the open. Well, it doesn't normally work, shall we say. Throughout the Battlefield series, I have really enjoyed the squad-based combat, where you can spawn on your teammates and get you closer into the fight. But like you just saw now, I kind of messed up. I did something that was a bit stupid. Basically, in the previous games before this, I was in squads that contained people with microphones who were, shall we say, rather irritating. Basically, there was one kid. He sounded like he was 10, and he just wouldn't shut up. He was just constantly talking. So I was trying to work out how to mute him. Now, please tell me, please put in the comments how the hell you mute people, because I couldn't work it out. I tried to leave squad, that didn't work. I tried everything I could, and I couldn't find anything. So I just left game, joined the second game, and I was on a team with some dude who had, well, he had the TV really loud, and you could hear it through his mic and everything. So left the squad again, and so on, and repeat the process. But then when I joined this one, although I got into a squad with some guys who were talking, they were talking sensibly and giving commands and that, and helping out their friends. Unfortunately, if you leave squad in the previous game, you are not put into a squad in the next game, which happened to me. So I was doing this whole game without a squad, unfortunately. I felt a bit lonely, least to say. At least I got my medipacks to keep me company, which actually is quite good. In Battlefield, you had the injector, but in this you've got a rebounding health bar again, although it is very slow, unless you are standing on or next to a medikit, which increases it substantially. Now we are actually defending quite well here, compared to the other 2 points anyway. I mean, the one in the park was down pretty quick, and the one in the subway station was down pretty quick. But here, we seem to be holding them a little bit. You can see in the bottom left hand... What happened there? Oh, I died. Well, whatever happened there ended with me dying. Anyway, as you can see in the bottom left hand corner when the screen goes back to my screen, anytime now, at least a second. There. Right, in the bottom left hand corner you can see a little orange bar. That is basically the reinforcements of the attackers. When that reaches 0, the defenders win. Now, as with all modern games these days, Battlefield has of course got 11 and up system. Pretty much the same as its predecessors. As you go through the game, playing different classes will unlock different guns and different equipments for each... I didn't see him there. Aha, that brings me on to a new game mechanic they added, which is the ability to go prone, which a lot of people do in this game. I mean, I myself go prone a lot. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, okay, you're going to get a shot in the face if you do get seen in that, but for the most part, you're making yourself a tiny, tiny target to hit. Unfortunately, this does lend itself to camping again. Okay, we have only got one base left in this area, so I should go try to defend it. If my game doesn't lag out, of course. However, I don't think we'll be able to defend this base for long. I mean, they've almost got half their forces left, and we've only got one base left. Well, actually, it balances out a bit, but let's just say their concentrated force is probably going to take out ours. They seem to be playing better than us. Anyway. For the beta, I have noticed a lot of lag issues. One of the most annoying ones for me is well, there seems to be a, shall we say, slow reaction when you die. It's like I can see that I've died, you know, so-and-so has killed Darcblade before I've actually fallen over dead, which is, to me, is really frustrating and irritating. Oh, let's try to revive these guys. Oh, okay, someone revive me, please. Anyway, going back to the lag issues and that, it's a beta, what can you expect? They're testing things. So I hope they do fix that for the final game. I don't think, if it is intended, then I'm not a big fan of it. Also, being a beta, there were numerous glitches in the game. I've seen bullet glitches, I've seen, well, my favourite glitch is when you actually went under the ground and couldn't get back up anyway. That was fun, but I think they fixed that one because I haven't noticed it in the later days of the beta, which is good because it was so frustrating getting stuck and having to suicide to get out. Now, as you may have noticed, games in Battlefield last a good while. We're on 15 minutes almost. No, we are actually over 15 minutes in length, and the game is still going on. There is one more area after this, but for sanity's sake, and you're probably getting fed up listening to my voice, I'm going to cut it down a bit soon. So in conclusion, my final thoughts on the Battlefield beta... Battlefield 3 beta are as follows. The gameplay is smooth and responsive, and as long as the glitches are sorted out, it will be fine. Although the game modes will lend themselves to camping, no doubt. There are too many snipers as well, I find, especially in the open areas. Might be better in these closed spaces like Operation Metro, but it all depends on how many maps they're going to have like this. I also do think that this is just going to throw fuel on the fire between the comparisons between this and Call of Duty, which in my opinion is getting a bit stupid. I mean, personally I'm getting sick of it. They're okay, they look alike, but to be honest, the gameplay is different. Battlefield is teamwork, Call of Duty is lone wolf, Call of Duty is kill streaks, Battlefield is vehicles. That's how I see it, and I hope that this game really turns out well. I hope people don't ignore it because they're COD fans, because it does deserve a good play, I think. Anyway, that's my final thoughts. This has been Darcblade, and I'll see you again soon. Subscribe for more videos like this if you feel like it. Cheers.
Wont.